how is it different if she's not putting anything on the website from you not putting anything on the website when you were auditor?
It's not.
Okay.
I am not complaining that she took things off the website or that she doesn't have my full record on the website whatsoever. The complaint is that she is claiming that we only did 10 special investigations, and then she points to a public taxpayer-funded website to prove her case. And she knows that that is not accurate. That is not an accurate record of what was accomplished during my tenure. I want to put it to these are times when the public is very mistrustful of government. I think they think most politicians lie and cheat and will steal their way into office. And the state auditor especially needs to be way above any of this. The state auditor needs to be the person that the public can trust. And instead, she is manipulating public data, essentially, for her own campaign purposes and lying about her opponent's record. And she's done it before. I think most of you are aware that she was indicted back in 1994, or 2004, for false campaign practices against, in her legislative race. So this isn't the first time.
During the Winona debate, you said that the state is mandated to pay for infrastructure such as building roads and bridges. We talked to the Hamlin professor who practically wrote the book on that, and he denied that the state is actually mandated to pay for roads and bridges. Can you show us or tell us where in the state constitution the state is mandated to pay for?
I don't know if I said mandate. I said it was one of the main functions of government. And it is one of the main functions of government. It's in the state constitution about a road system. I don't remember the exact clauses, but it's in there. And so to me, that is a main function of government, is infrastructure. It's in there, it's education. It's in there as state, I think it's state aid or highway, or I can't remember the exact wording. But that is one of the main functions of government. I don't think I said it's mandated. It is mandated that the state have a road system. I think it's I don't remember if it's county aid. I can't remember exactly because I don't have the Constitution in front of me. But that's it. Thank you.
You wanted to correct her false statements. Exactly what you letter to do that.
Well, first of all, it's all over everything she's ever done, including press stories. It's on all her literature. It's on her website in several places. It's in the public forum at the debate. She put the debate on her website, which makes that then campaign material. As soon as you take something like that and put it on a website, campaign website, it becomes campaign material. She needs to not only correct that, but I think she needs to issue an apology to the citizens of Minnesota for this behavior.
Auditor, is this race more contentious than the last race you were in?
Absolutely. You know, I've had many races in my career as a mayor and a council member, and very few of them were contentious. Or they were contentious on issues, and it was about issues. And I think we need to be debating issues. And we don't need to be lying about somebody's record or trying to manipulate government websites and pointing to that when you know it's wrong. In 2006, it was contentious on the part of her as she never crossed the line like this. She would make claims that we had millions of dollars in errors when she knows it's a typo in a back of the report, done by the same staff, by the way, that's there. And I want to also point out that there's been a whole bunch done under her tenure, too. And there was under Dutcher, and there was under Dayton, and there's going to be, because anytime you're doing hundreds of reports and audits every year, there's going to be something that has to be corrected. That is just the nature of it. But I accepted that because she never crossed the line. It was a gross exaggeration and misrepresentation of the truth, but it wasn't an out lie where she is manipulating also things related to taxpayer funds. This has gotten to the level that is unbelievable. And 3 times, I'm going to put it, I have corrected her. I have told her that's wrong. Once in person at the forum that you're talking about. And that's on your once I did it in a newspaper story that she posted to her own website, so she knows what I said. And the last one was with a newspaper reporter that brought it up on Monday, I'm guessing, with her, and she turned around and put something on her website. So she knows. She knows that at least there has got to be doubt in her mind, which is the standard for these complaints, that it's inaccurate. And frankly, if she asks any one of her staff, they will tell her it's wrong. It's their work that she says doesn't exist. These are some of the, attached Renee has a list of them. Some of the things she says that don't exist are things like the Minneapolis superintendent, you know, all the reviews that we did on the superintendent funds. The issue with David Dill. She was a rep at that time. She was in the legislature during that year, and we investigated Representative David Dill. It was a big deal. It was during an election year. We found no wrongdoing on his part. That is completely missing. I don't have the whole issue about the review and investigation of the Minneapolis Ryback and the 3 council members in the newsletters. If you remember that whole thing, and most of you covered, that's gone. And that was on the website, and that's one that's missing off the website. So there are numerous examples of things that you couldn't have possibly missed unless you were living in Florida at the time.
Do you know what the Office of Administrative Hearings could do if they found her in violation?
There's a matrix of sort of punishments, I guess, out there, and the highest level is willful violation, multiple violations. This is multiple. There are 2 here. A history of it. Now, she was indicted in 2004 for the same thing, but that was ultimately thrown out, as you know, because they couldn't prove, I think, that she did it willfully. She said she didn't know. That was in the Matt Dean campaign. That is the highest level. The fine is, I think, $2,500, and they send it to a county attorney. So it's everything from a small fine, not going to the county attorney, to I think $2,500 and being sent to the county attorney. It is a misdemeanor. If you are found guilty, it is a misdemeanor, no matter what the level is.
Do you guys have any more debate scheduled?
We have an almanac thing for like 10 minutes tomorrow night. It's very short. And we have our KSTP debate is, I think it's in mid-October. Mike, do you know the date? Or Chris? Yeah, it's about mid-October, I think. I'm sure this will come up tomorrow night, though. Might be an interesting almanac. Behind Bill there is, Chris, if you can hold them up. This is copies for you of this. This is the 200-plus pages of news clips out there, just simply showing that there are 28 special investigations that made it all the way to the news level. I want to point out the 10 that she says that we did, 2 of them, there's no news clips on them. So there are many, many more that we don't have, couldn't find news clips, or maybe never made the news to begin with. So we suspect, I talked to my former general counsel yesterday, and just to kind of get her complete recollection of the database, which of course she had and controlled. We handed all this over to Otto and her general counsel, and she said there were probably 100 investigations maybe done during the tenure, which is about what I remembered. Maybe half of them were just dismissed because there weren't any findings. That information is all there, but there are probably at least double what we found, or close, that actually rose to the level of letters of review and or investigation, which Otto puts.
What was it?
Letters of review.
The number?
Probably double what we found, she thinks. Again, we don't know because Otto hasn't released the information. And we don't believe that she will. Now she will probably have to with this hearing, but she hasn't released the information. It was asked for last month. And it's a very simple thing to do, but it's, why would she release it when an answer? Any other questions? Okay, you can please take a copy if you want of the press clippings, since they worked very hard to copy them, and that's why they're late. All this information will be posted on the website. Is it up in an hour? Half an hour. It'll be up there in half an hour. But your CDs include this 200 pages plus all of the different A, B, C, D in the original complaint. So it includes all of that electronically. So, thank you.